Welcome to the Monty Collier Report. I'm Monty Collier. In this video, we will continue our examination of Federal Vision proponent R.C. Sproul Jr. and his article titled, Do Paul and James Contradict on Justification? The entire article is posted to the right of the video, and I have added a link to the article so you can read it in the entire context, which appears on R.C. Jr.'s website. Let me remind everyone, especially if you are unaware of the history of Federal Vision, that R.C. Sproul Jr. has been a supporter of Federal Vision from its very beginning. R.C. Jr. has always defended Federal Vision proponents such as Douglas Wilson, Steve Schlissel, Steve Wilkins, and R.C. Jr. has used his position at Ligonier Ministries to give proponents of Federal Vision a public platform to spread their heresy across the nation, and even beyond. After R.C. Sproul Jr. was defrocked in January of 2006 for ecclesiastical tyranny and tax fraud by the Reformed Presbyterian Church General Assembly, RPCGA, he wasted no time in joining Douglas Wilson's Federal Vision denomination, known as the Confederacy of Reformed Evangelical Churches, or CREC. And before we move on, let's be sure that everyone knows that the ecclesiastical tyranny that R.C. Sproul Jr. was defrocked for is a quality always found in Roman Catholicism, but rejected by Calvinism. In Calvinism, the Bible alone is the authority of all believers. So now we come to the topic of this video. In R.C. Sproul Jr.'s article titled, Do Paul and James Contradict on Justification?, R.C. makes the following statement in the second paragraph of his response, and I quote, He, that is Paul, in turn emphasizes that even the faith we must have is not something that comes from us, but is first a gift of the Holy Spirit, end quote. This is a typical Federal Vision statement. It is designed to open the door for the Catholic teaching of justification by faith and works, also known as double justification. Catholicism claims that faith is first the gift of the Holy Spirit by grace alone, and this then enables the new convert to faithfully merit the rest of his justification, thus completing it. Roman Catholics often point to Augustine in support of this part of their view on justification. They quote Augustine, who wrote, and I quote, Faith itself is first given, from which may be obtained other things which are specially characterized as works, in which a man may live righteously, end quote. Augustine, A Treatise on the Predestination of the Saints, Book 1, Chapter 12. VivaCatholic.wordpress.com is just one Catholic blog currently using this to lure in Protestants. So we are not surprised to see Federal Vision proponent R.C. Sproul Jr. making this type of statement. This Roman Catholic tactic has always been used. Puritan John Owen examined it in his great work on justification by faith alone. Owen writes, and I quote, Those of the Roman Church do ground their whole doctrine of justification upon a distinction of a double justification, which they call the first and the second, end quote. Taken from the Works of John Owen, Volume 5, Chapter 5, page 137. So faith, which is first a gift of the Holy Spirit, according to Catholics and proponents of Federal Vision, is neatly classified under this part of Roman Catholic double justification. Now, pay attention to how Catholics make use of Paul and James in order to teach a justification based on faith and works. Owen writes, and I quote, Paul, they say, treats of the first justification only, whence he excludes all works, for it is by faith in the manner before described. But James treats of the second justification, which is by good works. This distinction was coined unto no other end but to bring in confusion into the whole doctrine of the gospel, end quote. Abid, page 138. R.C. Jr.'s claim that faith is first the gift of God is an assertion that human merit is still required to complete one's final justification before God. This is a confusion of law and gospel, a confusion of justification and sanctification, and the Bible doesn't teach this. Consider Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, end quote. Notice that this verse doesn't say that faith is first the gift of God. No, faith is the gift of God. The Bible teaches that faith is always God's unmerited gift, not only at conversion, but throughout sanctification, which is the Christian life. The Bible leaves no room at all for human merit when it comes to justification. Dr. John W. Robbins correctly states the Reformed and biblical position when he writes, and I quote, The Bible teaches that salvation from start to finish, from election to glorification, from eternity to eternity, is all of grace. Our works, both before and after regeneration, are not the basis or cause of our salvation. We are justified, declared legally righteous by God and pardoned from all sin, by grace alone, through faith alone, apart from works. Furthermore, our justification is wholly outside of us. It is a work that God has done for us by imputing Christ's perfect righteousness to our account. It is not a work done in us by God." End quote. Taken from the foreword of Gordon H. Clark's book titled Sanctification. So don't be tricked by these proponents of federal vision. They work hard to appear reformed, but they're not. Faith is not the gift of God at first. Faith is always the unmerited gift of God. Salvation from start to finish is by grace alone.